in there.
Yeah, there's a great look to Ashley Skierbeck. Finds herself all alone on the right block. Skierbeck with the layup. And the Ramblers, first one's on the board. 2-0, 6:45 to go here in the opening quarter. There's a poke away by Van Houten, but the Wildcats will corral it. This is Henry. Gets it back. Henry now will drive. Gets the left elbow. Takes the 16-footer. Misses. Rebound, though, corralled by the Wildcats, and they'll reset. Boy, Henry went to the floor hard after the box out from Van Houten. I imagine Van Houten picks up the occasional foul that way, too.
Yes, she does.
And now we're going to get a travel call as Van Houten, collecting the pass, took a couple extra steps before putting it on the floor. So it'll be back to Everett.
Yeah, Brianna has to do a little bit better job of closing out on that shooter a little bit less aggressively. Again, we got to keep her out of foul trouble tonight.
When you get boxed out by Van Houten, you get boxed out.
There is no question about that, Jay.
There's another nice pass on the interior, but unable to finish is Kelsey Elder. That was a high arcing, looked like a shot, but was clearly a pass attempt. And Founders just couldn't finish. 2-0 Ramblers, inside 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Neverth on the right baseline. Lefty dribble to the wing, up top to O'Malley, and then she's going to draw the foul from Kylie Burns. A little aggressive on the defense. This is a young Wildcats team, Dan. They've only got 2 seniors, and only one of them starts. They do start 3 sophomores, at least 2 sophomores. Yep. 2 sophomores and a junior. So
future looks bright for the Everett Wildcats.
Sure thing. Here's Neverth on the left wing. Top side Van Houten. Surveying, finds O'Malley on a curl on the right wing. She'll put it on the floor. Bounce pass topside for Agama. Swung around to the left wing. Van Houten puts it on the floor, drives. 12-footer in the paint, won't go. Rebound, battled around, and Neverth will come up with it, and the Ramblers will get a second chance. 5:20 remaining here in the first, just 2-0 McBain.
Everett Wildcats in an aggressive man-to-man defense, doing a great job of communicating out there together, doing some switching as well. Tell you what, Ramblers having a hard time right now. Everett very active on the defensive end.
O'Malley straightaway 3 ball is good.
Excellent job of setting her feet and following through. Again, Claudia, steal by Agama. Up ahead to Claudia.
Agama quickly the other way, finds O'Malley on the left baseline. And from the left block, the lay-in is good, and Claudia O'Malley with a personal 5-0 run has given McBain a 7-0 lead. 4:49 remaining here in the opening quarter. We've got a 30-second timeout from the Wildcats, and we will keep it here. Want to remind you, if you're leaving our listening area and you want to continue to listen to this broadcast, you can do so by heading on over to www.1079cdy.com. You can listen to us anywhere. You can get a solid internet connection through YouTube. You can also search for 107.9 CDY on YouTube. Our thanks to McLean Transmissions for allowing us to bring you live streaming of this broadcast. For anything transmission related, for quality used cars, call 779-1394. That's 779-1394. McLean Transmissions on, as I like to call it, La Chance Road. Just sounds so much fancier.
Yes. I got to give a shout out to Connor McLean. He's one of my 8th graders. His dad owns. Nice steal by Claudia.
Claudia at half court with the steal. The other way, the layup is good. She is seriously favoring that left leg, Dan, but she is still finding a way to get it done.
She's extremely mentally tough. I don't think when I coached girls for 8 years under Todd Hamlet, I don't think I've ever had a tougher and more fierce competitor than Claudia O'Malley. Again, kind of the old saying, dynamite comes in small packages.
Absolutely. O'Malley, of course, is going to run track and cross country at Grand Valley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Next year.
Her and her twin brother, actually.
Yep. What really made me sad when I watched her get hurt on the leg as she drives in from the left side, leaves the layup short, and then we're going to get a cheap foul on the rebound collected by Elizabeth Goodwin. The foul is going to be on Van Houten, and it's going to be her second. As much as you want to see a kid, play sports and enjoy a variety of sports and whatnot, I don't want to see anything ruin her opportunity at Grand Valley.
No question. She's got a bright future at track and field. And again, I coached her on the varsity for a couple of years, and she, again, when you're a distance runner and you're that good, it is so mental. The mental game is so tough there.
It's a nice steal by Skierbeck. Trying to lead O'Malley, left it short. Wildcats get it back. Skierbeck with another near steal, and there's a nice take to the hole and a layup by Kylie Burns.
And that happens sometimes. The Ramblers were gambling, getting in the passing lanes, and again, over-pursued, left the Everett Wildcats open for an easy 2.
It's the other thing about a quiet gym. The Ramblers running an offense as O'Malley takes another 3. Front iron, no good. Rebound tapped around and ends up in the hands of Cooper Agama, who will reset. In a quiet gym, you can hear everything the coach is yelling instructions, and the Ramblers running that offense that so often on the dribble handoff will free up a player as they come around baseline. He was pointing at Claudia and just screaming his head off to make sure they saw her. Claudia with the drive on the baseline. The miss, gets her own rebound. Putback comes up short, and the Wildcats will come up with it. That was Claudia as if to say, hey, I was going to be open. Shush.
Right. Yep. Again, coach definitely barking at his players, hey, pay attention to that scouting report. All varsity coaches spend a lot of time on those scouting reports.
Skylar Bumgardner with a nice drive, the freshman. And now we're going to get an offensive foul on the other end against the Ramblers. Bumgardner's drive came up short, and on the breakaway by McBain, Skierbeck is going to pick up the foul with the aggressive bump. They say it's the first on Ashley. I must have given a foul to somebody wrong because I had it as her second.
I had the same thing, Jay. Elizabeth Schneider, number 3 for the Ramblers, for the game tonight.
But they say it's only the 3rd foul on the team, so that's
foul.
confusing.
That is confusing.
Van Houten has 2, and I've got Skierbeck for 2, but they've only got 3 fouls. So.
Yep, I got the same thing.
Well, Skierbeck will say thank you.
She will. Nice job right there, switching defensively on the Ramblers.
This is Kaylee Ladd, who's checked into the game for the Wildcats. Gets it into Goodwin. The sophomore will kick it back out to Ladd. She'll drive the baseline. Cut off nicely, though, by Never. Nice little pass to the freshman lefty. The 17-footer from Skylar Baumgardner finds nothing but net, and it's a 9-4 McBain lead with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And now Baumgardner's going to pick up the tough foul. She actually had her hand on the ball. Thought she did a nice job, and then ended up colliding with O'Malley. Goes to the ground, and they're going to get her for the foul.
Emma Skierbeck reporting the game for her sister, Ashley. Ashley gets a well-deserved rest. Last possession for Everett, did a nice job of swinging the ball quickly, and that quick swing, nice wide-open jumper from the free throw line. Scores 9-4, minute 57 left in the first quarter. Ramblers leading.
Top of the key, this is Elizabeth Schneider. O'Malley down low, beautiful for Agama all alone, who turns and lays it up and in.
Excellent backdoor cut and screen on that offense. Worked to perfection right there. Wide open layup for Cooper Agama.
11-4 McBain, minute 35 to go here in the first quarter. Over here on the left wing, right in front of us, Livia Hopkins drives baseline, stops, pops, in and out, and the rebound is going to go off O'Malley. It'll remain Everett basketball.
Boy, I am just amazed at how much Claudia is favoring that leg, Jay. She could hardly jump on that rebound. She's working hard, and looks like she's going to go to the bench for a rest right now. She's still all right.
No, she's still got a senior track season coming up.
Yes, she does. That starts in less than a week, I believe.
It's a nice drive to the tin by Kaylee Ladd. Shot comes up short, and the rebound ends up in the hands of the Ramblers. Minute 15 to go here in the first. Agama up to Skierbeck the younger. Swung around to Schneider. We're going to get another offensive foul on the Ramblers. This is going to be on Cooper.
Very difficult right there with as many screens as we set on any offensive set we run to hold your ground. We got to make sure, again, the cutter has got to come off that screen shoulder to shoulder, and that screener has to stand still.
Minute 5 remaining here in the opening quarter. 11-4 McBain as the Everett Wildcats bring it over the timeline. Livia Hopkins picks up her dribble, harassed by Agama. Little backdoor pass for the freshman Bumgardner. Bumgardner with a nice look underneath. Schneider knocked it away, and Ladd will dribble it out to the three-point line. And now putting the ball on the floor was Goodwin, and the ball off her foot and into the hands of the Ramblers. 40 seconds to go here in the first. Ramblers by 7.
Nice job of collapsing.
Skierbeck for 3, in and out, and in again. Emma Skierbeck, the freshman, one of the prettiest shots you'll see on a high school player.
The iron kind. She used all the iron on that one as that ball hung on the rim and finally in for the Ramblers. Nice shot by Emma.
Wildcats looking for Hannah Wetters underneath. And they're going to actually say it went off of Wetters, so it's going to be Rambler basketball. That's like the 4th try that they've had their post player dance sealing off the defender, trying to go over the top. I don't know if they've seen something with the Ramblers or if that's just part of their offense, but here's Skierbeck. drive, right side. Little hook won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Goodwin. Here come the Wildcats. 5 seconds to go. Hopkins over the timeline. Dribbles to her right. Will throw it up at the buzzer. And that'll do it. One quarter in the books. The McBain Ramblers have a 14-4 lead over the Everett Wildcats. We'll take a break. Be back in 60 seconds right after this.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438.
Hi, Tracy from Don's Auto Clinic and High Point Auto and Cadillac, your locally owned dealerships. 2019 is here and so are some great opportunities. Lease a new 2019 GMC Terrain all-wheel drive for $249 per month. That's right, just $249 per month. Show Mother Nature who is boss while pulling down over 30 miles per gallon. Or how about the 2019 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for just $399 per month. Don's Auto Clinic and High Point Auto, growing together to serve you better.
And welcome back to Farwell High School. Jay Simon alongside Dan Verberkmos. Garrett and Grayson joined us on this trip as well. Got things set up for us, and now they are sitting among the quietest student section you will ever see in your life. They have not made a sound to our right. Lame.
Yeah,
totally lame.
They are texting each other.
They are.
Texting the guy sitting next to them.
Texting from 6 feet away. Second quarter action underway. Wildcats with the ball. They trail 14-4. And now we're going to get a tie-up on the right block. Van Houten getting locked up with Kelsey Elder. And it will go back to the Ramblers just underway here in the second quarter. I want to remind you this broadcast brought to you in part by Huttinga Electric, Judy K. Gildy Photography, LC Materials, McBain Auto Service, Taylor Mechanical, and Holton LP Gas. Our sincere thanks to all of our sponsors for allowing us to bring you this broadcast as Van Houten driving into the lane is going to pick up the charge. And that's going to be her third as she got into the paint, tried to stop and pop, and stopped, popped, and drifted right into an Everett Wildcat. And she will have to take a seat.
And again, I had the privilege of coaching a lot of these seniors when they were on JV, and that was an issue for Brianna. Even as a freshman and sophomore, she, again, such an aggressive player, has such a hard time not getting in there, and unfortunately commits fouls from her aggression sometimes.
It's a nice little curl by Kara Henry, the sophomore, a little too hard on the jump shot from 15, and the Ramblers come up with the rebound. 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Cooper Agama dribbles right, hands it off. Now top side for Schneider. One dribble, looking for some help. She finds the elder Skierbeck over on the left wing now to Agama. Back to the younger Skierbeck, who may have traveled. Back to Ashley, driving right baseline, off the side of the backboard and into the hands of the Wildcat. Every high school kid in the country, when they do that takeoff from a standing position, probably travels.
They let it go more and more all the time, Jay.
Yep.
Again, that was a great defensive stand by Everett that last play. Good defense by the Everett Wildcats.
Really was. Here's Ladd on the drive, is going to get tied up after losing the handle, but the possession arrow belongs to the Wildcats, so they'll keep it. As Agama takes a seat, and Claudia O'Malley checks back in. Ramblers lead at 14-4, 6.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Trying to inbound to the big girl in the middle, Kelsey Elder, but the Ramblers all over it, tap it away, and here comes O'Malley.
Everett has done an excellent job of attempting to get it into the post, but haven't connected much. Again, Coach Drew Brockman is going to preach to his girls, you have to front the post, and there has to be help side on the opposite side. So again, those lobs are going to be very difficult if we continue playing good post defense.
Wildcats doing a nice job, Dan, of switching up top.
Yes, they
chasing
are.
The Ramblers off the three-point line.
I agree with you 100%. They're communicating well, Jay.
It's one thing you can always do, even if your offense, maybe the offensive skill isn't quite there, is you can work hard on defense. And
yes.
As you well know, that's been preached a long time in McBain.
Yep.
Both boys and girls. As O'Malley drives right, kick out into the corner for Neverth. Up top to Skierbeck. Over to Skierbeck. That's a different Skierbeck. O'Malley will stop and pop and drain it from about 10 on the left wing.
Wow.
Claudia O'Malley now has 9 of the Ramblers' 16.
How many passes was that, Jay? I tell you, they got Everett on a travel. I'd say 8 to 10 passes on that last possession for the Ramblers.
Oh, yeah, at least.
They did a great, and the ball swung from one side of the court to the other. And again, that shift of the zone creates scoring opportunities. Claudia buries a wide open baseline jumper right there.
Absolutely.
Timeout, Everett. Yep, minute variety looks like, Jay. That's their second timeout of the night.
It is a full timeout. 5:23 remaining here in the first half. 16-4. McBain with the lead. We'll take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be back right after this.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
And welcome back to Farwell High School. Jay Simon alongside Dan Verberkmos, the incredibly quiet all-male boys student section here in Farwell, still not making any noise whatsoever. If we don't get some sort of chant, something, at some point tonight, I'm going to continue to harass you guys on the air. Everybody is hearing this right now, how lame you guys are.
Yep, they all have suckers in their mouths and their phones in their faces.
That's exactly right. It's pathetic, to be completely honest with you. Ramblers with the ball out of the timeout. O'Malley over the timeline. Swings it to Emma Skierbeck to Schneider in the left wing. She'll hand it off to O'Malley. Drives left. Now she'll bring it back topside with the right-handed dribble between the circles. Now she'll go left, hand it off to Agama. 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ramblers lead by 12. Here's a 3 from Ashley Skierbeck. Too strong, and the rebound pulled down by Kelsey Elder. Hopkins looking up ahead. Nice pass. No call on the contact. That was Hannah Wetters, who did a nice job of maintaining her composure. She got bumped on that little lefty shot. And it's a 16-6 Rambler lead. And now off the O'Malley miss, we get a couple of bodies to the floor, and it'll be another jump ball. This time, no, we're going to get a foul call.
Oh, that's okay.
It's actually going to be on Skierbeck.
That's her second tonight.
Allegedly. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure she's got 3. Something got missed.
I agree with you. That's right. On my stat sheet,
we both had it.
We did.
What are the odds of that, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think the last time out that Everett took, Coach Drew Bronco for the Ramblers told his girls to push the ball. The last 2 possessions, there was, again, when the Rams got the ball, there was 3 girls absolutely sprinting down the court.
Hopkins being harassed by O'Malley. Picks up her dribble, finds some help at the top of the key. This is Henry looking for Hopkins on the right wing. A little too high and into the Rambler bench. Turnover will give it back to McBain as your son brings me the biggest bottle of water I think I've ever seen. Thank you, sir. Well, they don't sell the little ones here in Farwell.
I think you just said keep the change, you filthy animal.
I think he did. Yeah, there's a steal. Hannah Wetters up ahead of the defense will, just missed it, but cleaning up the mess is Kara Henry from behind, lays it up and in. That was a great steal from Hannah Wetters, stepping right into the path of the pass, and it forces Drew Bronkema to call a 30-second timeout, as a quick little 4-0 run has trimmed this lead to 16-8 McBain with 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, and watching Coach Brockman call that timeout, he's extremely frustrated with those girls right now. Had a chance right there to almost put this game out of reach early on in that first half here, but Everett clawing back into this one, showing some grit, pushing the ball, rebounding well, communicating on defense. Again, the Ramblers got to regroup right now. 4 minutes left until halftime. Be nice to go on a good run to close the half and get up by maybe double digits or better, Jay.
Some substitutions. Kaya Grundy has checked into the game for the Ramblers. O'Malley now dealing with some full court pressure from Kylie Burns. O'Malley beats the pressure, gets it over half court to Agama on the right wing. Now here's Neverth. Neverth from the top of the key.
I think we'll call that one a pass.
I think that was a pass. Yeah, it had to be a pass intended for somebody on that right block.
Yes.
And clearly, whoever it was wasn't ready for it.
You know, the Ramblers got to get got to dial up the pressure here. Again, the Ramblers are doing a good job of picking up the Wildcats as soon as they cross half court. Aggressive defense in the passing lanes.
O'Malley gets a solid pick. That's a great move, but not finishing is Elder. And then we're going to get a foul on the putback attempt. Elder did a great job, Dan, just taking advantage of the size advantage she had on O'Malley, set the pick out near half court, freed Hopkins from O'Malley, and then just rolled to the basket.
Yes, again, the Ramblers switching on defense there, that pick and roll. Claudia then had to pick up the center, and again, outmatched in size and weight. And I tell you what, credit the Wildcats. Initial shot went up, no good, but we had two other Wildcats on the backside glass cleaned up, and again, kept battling. They're shooting free throws. They hit the first one. Score is 16-9, 3:31 left in the second quarter. McBain Ramblers leading.
Second free throw on the way. Back iron, no good. Neverth with the rebound.
And that's Leah Never's 5th rebound of the night. So far to this point, the best candidate for the High Point high achiever as far as the top rebounder. We got a foul up top on the Everett Wildcats, being a little too aggressive on Claudia O'Malley.
Kaylee Ladd is going to pick that foul up. Her first, 4th on the Wildcats, who are in the bonus. 7 fouls committed by the Ramblers.
Ramblers a little confused right now. Not the same. Okay, now they're running a play. Looks like, I believe this play is the play that they call triangle, and they're going to get a lot of screen. Oh, Claudia actually resets, calls a different play.
Neverth harassed up top by Wetters. Gets it to O'Malley, who was open for a moment. Now she'll drive by. 15-footer, finds every bit of the rim, and then falls through.
Excellent recognition. Got her feet set, pump fake, one dribble. Nice little floater right in the center of the lane right there.
Claudia O'Malley with 11 for the Ramblers. There's a nice dish on the interior for Elder, who can't finish, though, and here come the Ramblers the other way. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first half, 18-9 McBain. As O'Malley takes the pass, will dribble between the circles and calls out the play. There's a bounce pass for Alyssa Bode. Swung around to O'Malley. O'Malley drives inside the three-point line. Kick out Neverth, wide open from the left wing. Back iron on the 3. Rebound grab by Hopkins. Here come the Wildcats going right to left.
A lot of our shooting, Jay, we're one and done. Not a lot of offensive rebounds, Jay. We're doing a great job on the defensive glass. Offensively, we've got to get some more recycles out there.
Nice little look down low for Wetters, but solid defense from Neverth holding her position. Off the mark, the other way. Grundy crashing into an Everett defender, and they're going to get Hopkins for the blocking foul. And it will send Kaya Grundy to the line for a pair.
Boy, that was very close to an offensive player control foul on Kaya Grundy. I believe that the player for Everett was still moving and leaning slightly. Again, if that's the situation, if she's not
still
set.
Backing up.
Yes.
Is the vibe I got from down here.
Yep.
We didn't have a real good look at that from the position we're in. We're in the Ramblers on offense are on the far side of the gym from the corner that we're at, and it was basically right in our line of sight as Grundy drove right behind her. So it was difficult to tell what the defender was doing, but official right on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the correct call.
Grundy's second freebie is no good. Wetters with the rebound, and then we're going to get a jump ball. I know you're shocked.
Excellent job right there of crashing the offensive glass. We had 3 Ramblers going for that rebound. That's what we need. Again, the shot goes up. We got to make sure that we get some second shot opportunities tonight.
Minute 52 remaining here in the first half, 18-9. As the Ramblers look to inbound under their own basket. Kick out up top, 3-ball on the way. Off the mark by Olivia Niederhood, and now here come the Wildcats the other way. Bounce pass across the way by Wetters, trying to find Ladd. Multiple white jerseys in the way, and taken away. Knocked out of bounds by the Ramblers, and it will be Wildcat basketball. Here's the freshman, the left-handed 3-ball, no good. From Bumgartner, and the rebound pulled down by Grundy.
I'm very impressed with Everett so far tonight. Their defensive pressure is extremely high. You would never believe the way they're playing that they lost 2 times to the Ramblers by such large amounts. Oh, we got another foul call here, Jay. Maybe another moving screen, I believe, possibly.
Going to be another offensive foul on the Ramblers. It's going to be on Bode.
That's a list.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing, Dan, if the Wildcats had knocked down a few of these layup attempts, they've had some good looks on the inside that they've missed. You give them 3 of those, this is a 3-point game.
Exactly. Yeah, they're well within striking distance here.
Minute 10 remaining here in the first half. Wildcats with the ball. This is Ladd driving, trying to find Elder inside, and Bode skying and intercepting it. And here come the Ramblers. Grundy at the top of the key will dribble to the right wing. Now she'll pass top side. Open look for 3 from Emma Skierbeck is off the mark. And the rebound grabbed by Elder. Wildcats with the ball. They trail 18-9. 40 seconds remaining here in the first half from Farwell High School. District semifinal action. Ladd trying to find Elder on a roll. Elder didn't even see it. Knocked away by the Ramblers. Quickly the other way. And the awkward right layup from the left side by Niederhood goes down. Olivia Niederhood in the books.
Excellent push down the floor by Liv Naderhood. And again, what I liked about that play, not only is that a great finish, but we had 2 Ramblers on the backside to clean up that rebound if she missed.
Here's the freshman. Nice look down low by Skylar Baumgartner to Kelsey Elder, who lays it up with the left hand. 20-11, 3 seconds remaining. Skierbeck for 3 at the buzzer, no. And that will do it for the first half of play here from Farwell High School. The McBain Ramblers 20, Everett Wildcats 11. Division III District semifinal action. We'll be back after we collect our stats and thoughts right after this.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. You're your family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store, located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
You need to heat your house with Holton's LP Gas. Call them today at 231-839-4600. You can contact the office for specials today. And if you're a new customer, they have specials for you as well. Holton's LP Gas has been in Lake City for 30 years. And don't worry, they service the entire listening area. They've got 24/7 live, trained professionals. Holton's LP Gas is a proud sponsor of McBain Athletics. Making the final arrangements for a loved one is never easy. At Burkholder Family Funeral Home in McBain, they can help you get through the process one step at a time. Serving the families in McBain and the surrounding communities for over 40 years, they take pride in providing exceptional services that families can actually afford. The caring and compassionate staff at Burkholder Family Funeral Home can help ease the burden. Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Visit them today at 211 North Pine Street in McBain or call 231-825-8191.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools offers a quality, well-rounded education for the whole child. McBain students have a technological head start from the beginning with their own issued MacBook or iPad. Rambler students are immersed in strong curriculum, including access to a large variety of vocational programs, a winning athletics program, and access to a new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Challenging competitive times require a challenging competitive education. Give your child the McBain advantage. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools.
Kelly's Pizza and Grill in McBain would like to take this opportunity to thank their loyal customers for all their years of support. It's with your patronage that Kelly's Pizza and Grill can continue to support local schools, churches, and charities, not to mention keep serving up great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 6 till 10. Always doing their best to serve the McBain community, Kelly's Pizza and Grill, 100 Maple Street in the heart of McBain.
20-11, the McBain Ramblers lead the Everett Wildcats here at Farwell High School. Girls District semifinal action here on 107.9 CDY Division III Variety. Jay Simon alongside Dan Verberkmos. Garrett and Grayson Verberkmos in the house, too. We tried to get them to come on and give us their thoughts here at halftime. That was an immediate no. I've never gotten a quicker no than I got from Garrett. He took one step down from where he's at, realized what we were asking him to do, and immediately turned around. That's.
I have to say, Jay, I've gotten a lot of no's like that, like take out the trash or unload the dishwasher. I got those quick no's, so it didn't surprise me one bit.
That's fantastic. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Oh, Zach Wiggins turning the dials for us back in the studio. That's what I was going to say. Zach has been doing a tremendous job all season long here on CDY, making us sound good. Want to remind you, this broadcast brought to you in part by Burkholder Family Funeral Home, Amp Wireless, Puger Mechanical, Kelly's Pizza and Grill, the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center, White Pine Boilers LLC, Northern Truck Service, and McBain Rural Agricultural Schools. Our sincere thanks to each and every one of our sponsors for their support of this and all our broadcasts here on CDY. This is the McBain Hardware Halftime Show. See Ron or Tyler for all your needs. As Gary's brother-in-law will tell you, if McBain Hardware doesn't have it, Dan, you don't need it. They've got all the latest Milwaukee tools and all kinds of other stuff that I'm sure Garrett would understand how to use, but I don't. McBain Hardware, our halftime sponsor, 20-11 here at halftime in Farwell. And we've been saying all along, Dan, that we've been very impressed. This is an Everett Wildcat team that lost by 24 and 32 in the first two matchups between these schools. It's not the same Everett team that has shown up tonight. Their defensive intensity especially has impressed us.
No question. I tell you, I think it's led their, and again, in a quiet gym like tonight, you can hear above everyone their coach, Coach Huggins. He is absolutely into the game, and I think his players are really feeding off his energy. It looks to me like they have done a good job of scouting the Ramblers. Again, Ramblers running a lot of typical man-to-man sets. Everett has played mostly man-to-man defense in this first half, and many times know exactly where the Ramblers want to try to get the ball. And as a result, maybe not a lot of steals, Jay, but a lot of tips or quick closeouts, so those, the Ramblers can't get a wide-open jump shot. So I'm impressed with the coaching job that he's doing, and his players are feeding right into his energy. Ramblers, again, hustling hard tonight. Claudia is leading us right now offensively. Leah Never right now is our leading rebounder. But again, I would like to see at the opening of the second half some good defensive pressure by the Ramblers, get up in those passing lanes, and let's get some easy transition buckets, Jay. That's what we need to kind of break this lead from 9 points as it is now to a more comfortable lead.
We are halftime here in Farwell. The McBain Hardware halftime show as the Ramblers come out of the gym, and the all-male student section giving a lukewarm applause as they come out. They noticed. They noticed. Got to give them credit for that. They did see that their team was back out, and they started the applause. So kudos to the young men for at least beginning the applause for McBain as they came back out. Run down the scoring for you from the first half. No player on either team, Dan, has more than 3 points in this game, with the exception of senior Claudia O'Malley, who has a team high and a game high 11. She hit a 3 to get things going for the Ramblers, and she had 7 in that opening quarter when the Ramblers jumped out to a 14-4 lead. Wildcats, though, outscored McBain 7-6 in that second quarter, trimming the lead a smidge. They are down by 9. Meanwhile, for the rest of the Ramblers, Emma Skierbeck has a triple, and then Cooper Agama, Olivia Netterhood, and Brianna Van Houten with a bucket apiece to round out the scoring for the Ramblers, who are 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, for Everett, they got 3 points from Hannah Wetters. She's taken the only 2 free throws and knocked down 1 for Everett. And then they have gotten buckets from Skylar Baumgartner, the freshman, who's actually given them some really nice minutes in that first half. Kara Henry, Kelsey Elder, and Kylie Burns to round out the scoring for the Wildcats, 20-11 here at halftime. I want to remind you the broadcast of tonight's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and 107.9 CDY. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and 107.9 CDY. The officials make their way back out onto the court, along with the Wildcats and the aforementioned Coach Higgins.
couple Ramblers in foul trouble right now, Jay. We have Brianna Van Houten. She drew 3 fouls, and also Ashley Skierbeck has 2 fouls. Beyond that, a couple girls with 1 foul. So again, Brianna Van Houten and Ashley Skierbeck, the 2 senior post players with a little bit of foul trouble. So Brianna has got to really watch it. Officials typically are going to call it the closest, Jay, in the first couple minutes of that first half, and first couple minutes of that second half to establish the tempo, make sure everyone's playing clean. So she's really got to be careful those first couple minutes of this third quarter to not pick up that 4th foul for Brianna.
20-11 McBain after 1 half of play. Final 16 minutes about to come our way. Winner advances to Friday's district final here in Farwell. They would play the winner of Lake City and Pine River, a matchup that will follow this game here in Farwell. But you, as a listener here on 107.9 CDY, will be able to enjoy the dulcet tones of Gary Hawkeye Vanna and Dave Skinner, the athletic director at Northern Michigan Christian School, as the Comets take on the host Buckley Bears in a Division IV district semifinal. The Comets hoping to advance themselves to Friday's final and make things very difficult on us here at Up North Radio, because we would then have potentially the Manton Rangers in a district final over on 107.1 The Drive, and nowhere to put the Comets in the final on Friday, because if the Ramblers can hold on, they would be in the final on Friday. So a copious amounts of basketball here on the Up North Radio family of stations.
And what better time than March Madness? I know.
I think the MHSAA wants us to call it March Magic.
March Magic. Okay, very
March
good.
Madness belongs to somebody.
Okay.
Technically speaking, I'm just saying. I don't know how big a deal that is, but
okay,
it is technically true. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very, very kind.
Appreciate that.
Some terrific hospitality here in Farwell as the very nattily dressed athletic director, whose name I don't know and I'll have to look up because that's going to upset me, bringing us some popcorn over here in the corner. Second half underway here in Farwell as Hopkins, with a beautiful crossover on O'Malley, blew by her, gets to the 10 and lays it up and in. Nice move from Livia Hopkins.
Excellent take to the basket. She drove again from the top of the key, absorbed the contact in the air, and still kissed that ball right out the window.
And now we're going to get a foul. Is this going to be an offensive? I think it is on Leah Neverth, as Kara Henry does a great job of getting good position and getting in the way of Neverth. So about as good a start as you could hope for if you're an Everett Wildcat fan. I'm still just that Hopkins crossover. I think O'Malley was about ready to jump for the ball and just bit hard the wrong way.
She did. I mean, that was an excellent move. Excellent job of changing speed and direction. That is the key for a guard to get free, is you got to change speed and direction and get that girl on her heels.
Shout out to Deb listening to us in Cadillac. I think she's enjoying the broadcast strictly because of you, Dan. Not going to lie. I think that's what it is.
I'll have to pay her later.
20-13 McBain. There's a nice pass on the interior for Elder, who misses the bunny, and the rebound pulled down by Ashley Skierbeck. Quickly up ahead for Van Houten on the right wing. She'll pick up her dribble, send it topside for O'Malley. Lefty dribble across the top of the lane to Agama here on the left wing. Cooper will now dribble it to between the circles with the right hand. Now to O'Malley, free throw line extended near side as the Ramblers go right to left here in the second half. Van Houten over to Cooper Agama, driving right side, and we're going to get a foul on the floor before the shot attempt. It's going to be on Hopkins. And unofficially, that would be her first. Let's see if I'm right. Nope, I'm wrong. It's the second on Hopkins. First on the half for the Wildcats. O'Malley will inbound for McBain under the basket. Out to Agama. Straight away, 2 balls, no good. And Van Houten is going to pick up the foul, or is this on Neverth? Is this on Van Houten? It is on Van Houten. It's going to be her 4th. Van Houten aggressively going after that rebound. And really, Brianna's a tall drink of water. She didn't see that girl in the blue jersey underneath her as she went after the ball. Is it really her fault?
I guess that's the way we saw it, but I guess that's not the way the officials saw it. Again, the aggressive take right there on the rebound there. But Brianna, again, she has got to play conservatively now with 4 fouls.
Yep. There's a nice drive by Henry. Can't get the layup to go. The rebound will get tapped around and collected by the Wildcats. Hopkins will pull a long two and knocks it down. Livia Hopkins from the left wing has 4 in the quarter. It's a 20-15 Rambler lead. O'Malley all the way down the lane, across the way to Skierbeck. It went through Skierbeck's hands, ended up in the hands of Van Houten, but they're going to get Van Houten for the travel call. And it'll go back to Everett with a nice little run. The Wildcats have trimmed this lead to 5.
Right there, Brianna, good solid pump fake, but when she put that ball above her head, she lifted her pivot foot, and that's what the officials just called. That was a very good call by the official. Brianna a little frustrated as she heads to the bench.
Hopkins' pass attempt for Elder, tried to bounce pass it to her as Elder got a little close, and then off the legs of Elder and out of bounds, so it will be Rambler basketball. By the way, the athletic director here in Farwell, nope, sorry, that's Everett. The athletic director in Everett is a very nicely named Jay Wallace. It's Michael Gould. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly here in Farwell. Our thanks to Mr. Gruhl for the popcorn here in the corner. Neverth with a 3 from the left wing is off the mark. Hopkins chases down the rebound, but her pass attempt for Elder taken away by Ashley Skierbeck.
Ashley was sprinting back on defense and just happened to look over her shoulder as the ball was in midair, tipped it, gained control, and got it to the guard. Excellent steal by Ashley.
Agama with the drive on the left baseline, misses the jumper. Rebound grabbed by the Wildcats, but knocked away by the Ramblers, out of bounds, so it will remain Everett basketball. Boy, you know, I usually, as play-by-play guy, I have to watch the ball because that's my job. But I happened to watch Ashley Skierbeck there for a moment away from the ball. I would not want her setting a pick on me.
Absolutely true, Jay. I coach
Everything
Ashley.
is at a 10. She goes hard and fast the whole way as she gets a steal on the other end. I'll let you finish that thought. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
Just very impressed with how hard she works.
I coached Ashley for 2 years on the JV, and she absolutely would run through a brick wall for you. Plays 100% of the time, and that move she had right there, we call it an up and under. I'm going to take a little credit. I taught her that move as a freshman, and that was perfected right there. Excellent move to the basket by Ashley for 2 points.
As if on cue, as we're talking about her, Skierbeck gets the ball on the left block, the little up and under that Coach Verberkbo showed her. And she puts it down to make it 22-15 McBain. 4:35 remaining here in the third quarter as the Wildcats look to inbound, and we're going to get the foul on O'Malley chasing Ladd. They're going to say she bumped her. And so Claudia O'Malley will pick up the foul.
Elizabeth.
We need a timeout. This popcorn smells really good.
It does smell good. Again, the officials calling a little bit tight here in the opening part of the first half, but that's pretty typical. They want to keep the game clean. Good defense by Elizabeth Schneider. Forced the travel.
Yep, that was Hannah Wetters, who had real good position down low, but Schneider with good position defensively didn't bite on the up and under move that somebody's obviously taught Wetters, but somebody taught Schneider better how to defend it. And the travel call gets it to the Ramblers. Here's Skierbeck, the elder, looking down low for her younger sister, tapped away by Ladd. And now O'Malley with the steal. Will hand it off to Agama, who will try to cross over against the defensive Kylie Burns.
All right, Ramblers are right now getting on the same page. This play is called Maroon. They missed a wide open cutter right there.
Skierbeck for 3, in and out, and in again. Emma Skierbeck with her second triple of the game. Knocks it down from the left wing. Well, yeah, they missed the wide open Cooper Agama for a layup, but they'll take the 3 from Emma Skierbeck, and it's back to a 10-point Rambler lead.
Definitely.
There's Ladd with a tough shot from the right block. And on the rebound, stepping out of bounds is Burhans, and so that'll give the ball back to McBain. 3:36 to go here in the third quarter. McBain with a 10-point lead.
Danger time right here for the Everett Wildcats. Again, McBain on a run right here. Hopefully keep the foot on the gas pedal, get a few more buckets, a few more stops, and again, get a nice, comfortable lead.
Skierbeck with the ball on the right wing, wide open lane, driving right. Missed the layup attempt, and then Schneider's going to pick up the foul on the rebound. And it will be Everett basketball. Schneider, the shoe game for the Ramblers, not as cool as I would like to see since they don't match, but Schneider bringing the sock game. She's got the bright orange socks going on down there. I'm proud of her for that.
Maybe call it salmon color? Would you call that salmon
color?
Salmon?
You might, but you're more refined than I am. 3:15 remaining here in the third quarter as the freshman Skylar Baumgartner, brings it over the timeline. Gets it to Ladd. Ladd looking down low for, I knew her name, Goodwin. Kick out to Ladd for two. Long two is off the mark, and O'Malley with the rebound. O'Malley up ahead for Skierbeck, who puts it on the floor, lost the handle, but saved it to Agama, and the Ramblers will reset.
Very athletic play right there. Flying out of bounds, saving it to her own teammate.
Skierbeck might have been blocked. Boy, crashing to the floor. My goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's what they call on the old school playground a dog pile right there, Jay. Because I tell you, that ball was on the ground, and there were 5 girls absolutely diving for it.
They forced the officials to make some kind of call. It's just, we're going to fly in. It's the weirdest thing to me, though. Oftentimes, that scrum will just usually lead to a jump ball because eventually it gets tied up. And yet, there is more contact and abuse going on in that situation than you ever see any other time. And they never call a foul. It's always a jump ball.
Especially at the bottom.
The weirdest thing.
At the bottom of the pile. That's where all the extracurricular activities go.
Yeah, it turns into a football game. Ladd to Baumgartner in the middle. And the McBain Ramblers student section calling the travel before the official even got the opportunity to call it. They get it right. It'll be Rambler basketball, 25-15. They've livened up. I need to make sure I say that on the air. They have livened up a little here in the second half. Has the student section.
The Ramblers, again, the last few defensive possessions, you can feel the effort increasing. Again, Coach Brockema imploring his team to get it done on the defensive end.
Here's O'Malley on the right wing, picks up her dribble. Top side for Emma Skierbeck, who'll hand it back to O'Malley as the Ramblers trying to find and probe this defense. Skierbeck spins away from her defender, gets to the 10, lays it up and in. Emma Skierbeck with the layup has 5 in the quarter, and it's a 27-15 Rambler lead as McBain has gone on a 7-0 run of their own after the 4-0 run by the Wildcats. And there's a steal by O'Malley, tapped away, but then Kara Henry, able to chase it down. And we're going to get a travel. Henry wanted to pass that to Ladd a little earlier. Saw the defender in her way and ends up dragging the pivot foot. Minute 34 to go here in the third. As mentioned, the Ramblers on a 7-0 run after the Wildcats had trimmed the lead to 5.
That last play, Jay, I don't know if you noticed it, but Elizabeth Schneider with a key screen freeing Emma Skierbeck up for an easy layup.
O'Malley gets into the paint. Little 12-foot jumper comes up short, and we're going to get a foul on the Ramblers on the rebound.
Fouls on number 3, Elizabeth Schneider, her second.
We have the advantage of being able to hear an official, the coaching staff very clearly. Goodness.
Good, brother.
Official just wiping out right there. I'm glad to see he's okay. I think he hit a slippery spot on the floor there. I'm glad he's all right.
I don't know what happened there. That was...
Was a speed bump there, maybe? I don't know.
The Farwell Eagle logo jumped up and tripped him.
Maybe.
We got timeout on the floor, 30-second variety. I believe this was called by Farwell. 27-15, Ramblers with the lead here in the third quarter. Minute 24 remaining here in the third quarter. Our thanks to McBain Hardware, our halftime show sponsor. See Ron or Tyler for all your needs. As Gary's brother-in-law will tell you, if McBain Hardware doesn't have it, you frankly don't need it. This broadcast also brought to you in part by McLean Transmissions, the Falmouth Co-op, McBain and Lake City Family Pharmacy, McNally's Party Store, and High Point Cadillac GMC. Our sincere thanks to each and every one of our broadcast partners for their support of tonight's broadcast. Minute 20 to go out of the timeout. Here comes the freshman, Baumgartner. Gets it to Ladd, who loses the handle. Ball on the floor. We're going to get a tie-up as Olivia Naderhood gets a hand on it. And the possession arrow belongs to McBain with 1:13 remaining here in the third.
Boy, Jay, it would be great right now with just over a minute left in the game to go on another little quick run here for the Ramblers just to get the momentum going into the fourth quarter.
Niederhood over to Skierbeck, Emma Skierbeck on the left wing, top side for O'Malley. She drives into the paint, kicks out for Ashley Skierbeck, who drives to the hole, unimpeded, lays it up and in. The Skierbecks have a combined 9 points, all 9 Rambler points in this quarter. And it's a 29-15 lead with 45 seconds to go. 3-ball from Hopkins. Top of the key is off the mark. Ramblers with the rebound. Quickly up ahead, O'Malley to Neverth on the right wing. Loses the handle, gets it back. Kick out. Niederhood for 3. Left wing, no good. Skierbeck with the rebound. Putback won't go. And now we're going to get a foul on McBain. On the push, Leah Neverth will pick up the foul.
That last bucket that we just scored, Jay, was all set up from Claudia O'Malley's penetration. She penetrated in the middle floor, drew 2 defenders, kicked it to Ashley for an easy dump-off layup. Everett shooting a 1-and-1 now. Again, fouls are a little bit uneven tonight. We have 17 fouls calling McBain and only 1 on Everett right now.
Hopkins misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and the rebound chased down by Niederhood. Up ahead to Emma Skierbeck, and it goes into the hands of the broadcast team. It'll be Everett basketball. I'm disappointed in the student section again. How come none of them jumped up to grab that ball?
I don't know. Hey, Garrett's eating my popcorn. What's
Kids
up with
these
that?
days.
Yeah.
Well, you can have some of mine.
That's all right.
18 seconds remaining as Hopkins trying to drive between a couple of white jerseys, loses the handle, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be McBain basketball. So the Ramblers now on a 9-0 run with 17 seconds to go in the quarter with a chance to close it out with the last shot.
Last free throw that the Everett Wildcats just shot, on that rebound, the ball hit the floor on the rebound. That is a sign of an outstanding box out. Great box out is when the ball hits the ground and everyone goes to get it.
Kaya Grundy cut off in the corner. Student section right on top of it as Ladd's toe was on the out of bounds line on the baseline. Ramblers will get another shot at it. 3.3 seconds remaining. Agama looking to inbound. Gets it over to Neverth. Spinning left-handed, won't go. They're going to call the travel on Leah Neverth as she picked up the pivot foot. 1.5 seconds now. The Wildcats will look for a final heave. Hopkins will send it forward. Comes up short, and that will do it. Can't call that an air ball. That's terrible. 29-15, our score. At the end of 3, the Ramblers with the lead and on a 9-0 run to end that quarter. We'll take a quick break and be back. Final 8 minutes coming up from Farwell High School right after this.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. Here, you're family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
And welcome back to Farwell High School. Jay Simon and Danver Burkmos. 29-15. The McBain Ramblers lead the Everett Wildcats as the quarter gets underway. Hopkins with the miss on the one end for Everett, and then Cooper Agama all the way down the other way with the lay-in. Makes it 31-15, an 11-0 run by the Ramblers. Great. Hopkins says, "You reach, I teach," as she blows by Agama but misses the bunny.
Ramblers pushing it in the full court situation. Cooper Agama dishes to Kaya.
Top side, Agama around to Niederhood on the right wing. Back to Agama. Wildcats defense
shifting to a zone, looks like, Jay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Am I right? Yes, it looks like a zone.
Three from Niederhood is no good. Neverth with the weak side board, though. Out to Grundy from 17. Nothing but net. Kaya Grundy with the bucket.
Nice offensive rebound. Pass back to Kaya Grundy, and again, nothing but net. A swish. Again, the guys call that, when it swishes, they call that a wet shot.
And there's another steal by the Ramblers. Leah Neverth will bring it over the timeline. Niederhood stops over to Agama from 10. The glass, and it's good. And the Ramblers now on a 15-0 lead run since midway through the third quarter. Force a timeout from head coach Paul Higgins. It's got to be a full. He's got nothing left.
Yep,
yes, that is true.
Minute variety, Jay. The Ramblers doing an outstanding job of pushing the ball in transition and then playing very unselfishly, Jay. I'm very impressed with the passing of the Ramblers tonight. Extremely unselfish. Again, if a girl has a decent shot, you see her tonight many, many times, Jay, giving up that shot for a girl that has maybe a better shot. And the Ramblers starting to heat up from the outside too, Jay.
Knocking down some longer jump shots. Absolutely. Want to remind you, if you're leaving our listening area, make sure you head over to 107.9Wcdy.com. Click the game logo over on the right side. You can listen to us anywhere in the world where you get a decent internet connection. Of course, I am assuming that Zach started that stream, but I'm sure he did. Zach Wiggins turned the dials for us back in the studio. Streaming brought to you by McLean Transmissions. Call 779-1394. That's 779-1394. Our thanks to McLean Transmissions. A reminder, you're listening to WCDY, McBain Cadillac Lake City Girls District semifinal action here from Farwell High School. Coming up after us, the Northern Michigan Christian Comets will be taking on the Buckley Bears from Buckley High School Division IV district semis. Gary Vanna and Dave Skinner will have for that call, as Gary is listening to us and telling me what the layup call should be when Cooper Agama makes a layup. It's the Coop with the scoop.
I like that.
Apparently I messed that up. Here's Coop with the triple. Cooper Agama from 3 at the top of the key is heating up in this quarter. She's got 7, and it's a 38-15 McBain lead as the Ramblers are pulling away.
Excellent job right there of finding the open girl. That's what they call, Jay, the secondary break. So the initial layup wasn't there. Effort got back, stopped, scrambling to find the girl. Again, Cooper trailing the play, hit the 3. That's what they call the secondary break. Nice play. Good and selfish play by the Ramblers.
5:50 remaining in the ball game. Ramblers lead by 23. Grundy on the right baseline, cut off nicely by Ladd. She'll swing it out to Agama, who's got the hot hand right now. Cooper over to Grundy, right in front of the Rambler bench, top side for Skierbeck. She'll swing it to Van Houten, who's checked back into the game with 4 fouls. Niederhood will take a straightaway 3, no good. Ashley Skierbeck with the rebound, got it stripped. Nice job there by Wetters, excuse me. And the Wildcats will take over, going left to right. 5:15 remaining as the freshman Baumgartner with a little crossover, got her pocket picked by Van Houten. Here comes Brianna Van Houten, powering down the right side of the lane. The layup is good.
Great job by Brianna right there, absorbing the contact. Almost could have called a foul there, but I think that was a very good no call by the official in that instance, Jay.
Yeah, Wetters trying to get position to draw the charge. Never really got set, but didn't really commit much of a foul either. And good no call is now we're going to get a scrum. You got to call that jump ball quick, bro.
Yes, we do not want any extracurricular activity.
No, that's frustrating, I'm sure, for Kelsey Elder, who's on her back with the ball, with multiple hands reaching in, trying to take the ball away from her. She starts swinging her arms around and, call the jump ball. Let's move on.
Yes. Possession Ramblers. Cooper's bringing it up.
Grundy in front of Coach Drew Bronkema. Excuse me, actually in front of AD Sean Mulder, who's on the bench for McBain. Top of the key, Niederhood, 3 ball on the way. I can tell it's not good because of the face she makes as she lets it go. She makes a very clear face that it's not going in when she lets the shot go.
And how true is that for all of us, Jay?
It's
many
probably
times
true.
when it leaves your fingers, you know many times when it's going to be in or out.
Baumgartner with the lefty layup attempt won't go. A little jump hook. Got the rebound, putback wouldn't go, and then Elder trying to save it from going out of bounds is unable to, and the Ramblers will take over. And you see the Wildcats now kind of see it in the body language, a little frustrated starting to wear down as the Ramblers have taken control here late in the third and in the fourth quarter. Here's Emma Skierbeck, stops, pops, three, good. Emma Skierbeck says, apparently you don't know me.
Coming right off the bench.
You don't give me that much space.
And again, coming right off the bench, she not shy at pulling the trigger. And that shot, Jay, you could tell as soon as that shot left her hands.
That's a shooter.
That was nothing but net.
Yeah,
beautiful stroke.
That is a shooter. As Grundy working hard, taps it away from Ladd. It'll stay ever basketball. I love that. I seriously do. I love that. That is a shooter's mentality. Brings the ball up. Defender is 5 feet off of you as you approach the three-point line. It's almost insulting, right?
They're daring her.
It's almost insulting.
They're daring her. Exactly right, Jay. And I'd have to say, I said this when I broadcast the NMC game, I'd have to say Emma Skierbeck, probably the best pure shooter on the team, Jay.
I don't even think there's much question about that, to be honest with you.
Getting a few substitutions in the game. Ramblers in a man-to-man defense, still playing aggressively. I like it.
It's a quick turnaround and jumper trying to use the glass was Kylie Burns off the mark. Rebound pulled down by the Ramblers. Agama's going to dribble it off her leg. Oh, nope, she's going to dribble it off a Wildcat leg. So the Ramblers will keep possession of the ball.
Everett picking up full court. They got to get some steals. They got to start gambling, Jay, and try to get some steals here.
Yep. Van Houten across the way to Skierbeck. Left open. Three ball. Back iron. No good. Rebound corralled by Wetters. Here come the Wildcats going left to right. 3.5 minutes remaining in the game. Nice little crossover there by Elder. Elder, lefty shot attempt from the side of the lane won't go, and the rebound pulled down by the freshman Skierbeck. Gives it off to Cooper Agama, who's running the show now. I think we've seen the last of O'Malley. Grundy's going to take the bump from Ladd, and she'll go to the line for a couple. Claudia O'Malley battling that issue with that left leg, has it heavily wrapped. She gave just some gamer minutes early in this contest. As we said before, had 11 first half points. She's been relatively quiet in the second half, but they haven't needed her. I don't think we're going to see her again.
I would agree. I think they're going to let it rest. And I talked to, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I talked to Claudia today, basically diagnosed as a deep muscle bruise or contusion, if you will. And again, I guess she injured it twice, actually, Jay. She re-injured it in the last game that they played. I believe it was against... help me out, Jay. Was it not Cadillac?
No, they...
what was their last game, Jay?
It'll show it to me.
I'm drawing a blank
Kalkaska,
here.
Big Rapids?
Yeah, I think it was Kalkaska, I believe it was. It was
no score for Big Rapids. They didn't play though.
Right.
Schneider misses the free throw. Grundy must have missed 1 or 2 free throws in the last possession. Was that a 1-and-1? Or did they not give her?
I think they called it on the ground. On the ground, Jay. Yes.
Okay.
Elizabeth Schneider hits the second, so she splits a pair.
First free throw knocked down by the Ramblers. Just their fourth attempt from the line. 3 minutes to go here in the ball game. Ramblers up 44-15. On the interior, the layup. Kelsey Elder finding some space, lays it up and in. It's the first Wildcat bucket since midway through the third quarter, and it comes with 2:50 remaining in the game. The Ramblers, it snaps a 24-point Rambler streak.
Isn't that something? And the Ramblers really have dialed up the defensive pressure. And again, their defense really suffocating. Every shot Everett's taking is highly, highly contested. And again, you got to credit the girls responding to Coach Bronkema, pleading with them to play hard defense.
Here's Ladd, right-handed dribble into the lane, throws up the little skyhook and gets it to go. Kaylee Ladd with the tough shot over the trees. And the Wildcats continue to apply pressure. Cooper Agama will get it back. Cooper attempting, and we're going to get a timeout from Drew Bronkema. 2.5 minutes remaining in this one, 44-19. McBain firmly in control, and looking like they will be headed to Friday's final against the winner of Lake City or Pine River. I mean, no disrespect whatsoever to the Bucks, but that is very likely to be a rematch with the Trojans.
If the chips fall where they usually will, that's probably the matchup we're going to see. It's going to be a Lake City McBain rematch in the district finals here on Friday night. Too bad it couldn't be played in Missaukee County, but again, this is that non-traditional district, Jay. I know some schools, if all the ADs do agree, they go to that non-traditional format that was introduced. I don't think that was that long ago, was it, Jay?
No, it's within the last few years where they will allow one team to host. I kind of like the traditional format where they go to a neutral location, everybody goes there kind of thing. Especially because, you know, a team like Lake City and McBain having home court is a fairly big advantage, although Lake City crowd as well as McBain's travel very well. But I think having it on a neutral floor just brings a different element to it, makes it interesting, and allows Farwell to pick up a little concession stand revenue, right?
Yes.
So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Those two teams, if we look ahead a little bit, met on January 11th. It was a 20-point Lake City win at Lake City, and then the Trojans got the win in McBain. That game a little closer. That was a 12-point Lake City win. So the Ramblers will have their work cut out for them, assuming it is the Trojans that they face on Friday. But I think Coach Drew Bronkema would tell you the girls relish the opportunity for that rematch.
Yes, and again, it's the old saying goes, Jay, it's hard to beat a good team 3 times. So again, hopefully Coach Drew Bronkema, I know he's going to get his girls ready and juiced up and primed to go.
Ramblers inbound in their backcourt. Schneider gives it off to Agama. Now to Grundy on the right wing. Grundy, lefty dribble, top side, will bounce pass to Schneider. Now to Agama here, right in front of us on the left wing. Top side for Emma Skierbeck. Over to Schneider. She'll take the 3 from the right wing and knock it down. Sorry, long 2. Schneider has 3 in the game. 46-19 McBain. Jump shot attempt from Bruin is off the side of the backboard. And it will be Rambler basketball with 2 minutes remaining in this one as we get some substitutions for both schools. Rand Bumgardner, sophomore, and I assume potentially older sister of freshman Skylar, checks into the game, as does Mackenzie Van Buren. As does Deanna Conklin for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, for the Ramblers, Kaya Grundy going to the floor. More bodies on the floor. This just looks like rugby at this point, not going to lie.
Credit those girls. You know, so a lot of those girls on the floor right now don't get a lot of minutes, Jay, but they are going at it and giving it 100%. So you got to tip their cap to them.
Kayla Boscher has checked into the game for the Ramblers, as has Katie Heistand. Heistand? How do you say that one?
Number
2?
2. Heistand? Must be German.
Free throw attempt by Conklin was missed. Here comes McBain, minute and a half left in the game. Out on the wing, this is Boscher now, top side for Bode. Grundy on the near side. Heitland, pump fake, driving, kick out for Boscher. No room to shoot. We'll kick it up top for Grundy as the Rambler substitutes. Dan, as you well know, will run the offense because it's the only way you're going to get minutes is if you continue to run the offense and do what you're supposed to do. But there's a turnover the other way. The driving layup won't go, though, for Wetters. And the Ramblers come up with it. Also checking into the game, Alexis Gildy, sophomore, out on the floor right now for McBain. Here's Boscher. She'll take the 16-footer and knock it down. Kayla Boscher into the books with a bucket. 48-19 McBain, 40 seconds remaining in this one.
Great job of Kayla Boscher right there, setting her feet, getting squared up, and knocking it down. Nice shot by Kayla Boscher.
Travel call on the Wildcats. They'll give the ball back to McBain. 41.2 ticks remaining in this one. Ramblers up by 29. Grundy trying to get over the timeline, had it tapped away by Deanna Conklin. It'll be McBain basketball. 35 ticks remaining in this one. Don't forget, make sure you stick around. The Northern Truck Service postgame show coming up, where we put Dan under all kinds of pressure to pick some postgame awards. And we will talk about what's next for these Ramblers. Boscher gets it to Bode, top of the key. Bode, the lefty. Near side for Heiston. Over to Boscher. She'll take the 3 from the right wing and knock it down. Kayla Boscher. A couple of good-looking jumpers here in the fourth.
Excellent job of working the ball. And again, multiple passes on that offensive set, Jay. Worked the ball until Kayla Boscher with another steal, almost a layup at the buzzer here.
Boscher finishing it with a flourish as the McBain Ramblers will advance with a 51-19 win over the Everett Wildcats. They advance to Friday's final here at Farwell. We will take a moment, collect our stats and our thoughts. The Northern Truck Service postgame show coming up here on 107.9 CDY. Don't go anywhere.
Your one-stop farm supply store is Falmouth Co-op in the heart of agriculture country. With locations at Falmouth and McBain, Falmouth Co-op has what you need to keep all your animals well-fed and healthy. Plus, bulk fuel and professional agronomy services like custom fertilizers and spraying and soil and grid sampling. Falmouth Co-op is your premier grain dealer and birdseed headquarters. And the McBain location has pizza, burgers, wings, and appetizers. Stop in today at either location in Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op is proud to support McBain student athletes.
High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools offers a quality, well-rounded education for the whole child. McBain students have a technological head start from the beginning with their own issued MacBook or iPad. Rambler students are immersed in strong curriculum, including access to a large variety of vocational programs, a winning athletics program, and access to a new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Challenging competitive times require a challenging competitive education. Give your child the McBain advantage. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week, locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open
Boonstra Construction, a name you can trust. That trust starts with a family tradition passed down from generation to generation. That's not something you hear nowadays, but it is very refreshing. Daryl Boonstra has taught his crew the value of hard work, professionalism, and most of all, old-fashioned honesty. So when you're looking for someone to bring your dream to reality, skip the games and lies, avoid the misleading quotes and miscompletion dates, and go with a name you can trust. A name that is a family tradition of quality and experience in the greater Cadillac area. Go with Boonstra Construction. Give Daryl a call, 231-825-4043. That's 231-825-4043. Boonstra Construction, McBain.
And welcome back to Farwell High School. Jay Simon alongside almost Gary Van, Dan Verbergmos, where the McBain Ramblers have defeated the Everett Wildcats 51-19 to advance to Friday's district final, Division III style, and they await the winner of Lake City and Pine River. Lake City out on the floor. That's the nightcap here in Farwell. Your nightcap is going to be Northern Michigan Christian as they take on the Buckley Bears up in Buckley, and we will be sending it to them following the conclusion of our contest. There may be some music interlude between the two games. We're not sure, but I haven't seen anything from Gary to indicate that they're quite ready to go on the air, so we're not going to take too long. I'm sorry, the call for an Agama layup is it's Coop with the scoop for the hoop. I missed
like that.
I missed a piece of it.
That's
yes.
absolutely, that's poetry.
I missed a bit of it. I apologize. Terrible job by me to not know that play, that call for that action. Any case, this is the Northern Truck Service post-game show, and it is time to start presenting some post-game hardware where we put Dan under intense pressure and make him pick the post-game awards that Gary Hawkeye Vanna has created. It's really all his fault that you have to do all this work, to be completely honest with you. Let's start with the George Johnson All-Heart Award. The George Johnson All-Heart Award named in honor of Rambler Uber fan George Johnson, a former assistant basketball coach and just all-around supporter of Rambler athletics. Lost 2 football seasons ago. And blood green and gold, one of the biggest fans the Ramblers have had. And his passion for Rambler athletics exemplified in this award as we try to give it to the Rambler who demonstrates George's passion for Rambler athletics. What you got, Dan?
The George Johnson all hustle, all hard work has got to go hands down to Ashley Skierbeck. You mentioned it too, Jay. When does she not go 100%?
I don't know that she has anything under 10.
I think that's the only gear she knows. She goes 100% of the time. She does everything that needs to be done, and many times it's the things that do not show up in the stat sheet that help teams win ball games. She sets a good screen. She'll dive on the floor for the loose ball. She'll make the extra pass and again bypass her good shot to give her teammate a great shot. And again, I got to give it to Ashley Skierbeck for her hard work. And again, she reminds me a lot, Jay, of Daniel Rodenbaugh, just that hard hat, lunch pail, blue collar mentality. And I just love that about her. And as I mentioned, had the privilege to coach her 2 years when she was down on the JV. So I knew that going in, but I just really enjoy watching her play hard and with such passion.
There you go, Ashley Skierbeck, your George Johnson All Heart Award winner for tonight's contest. 51-19, our final here in Farwell. Lake City out warming up. They will take on the Pine River Bucks. Oh, the Bucks are out there as well. Sorry, this giant herd of young men standing in my way I couldn't see on the other side. All your tall sons have tall friends. Couldn't see anything on the other side of them. How about the picture-perfect play of the game brought to you by Judy K. Gildy Photography? A lot of opportunities, a lot of options, and I'm distracted now. That is the most adorable, ball girl or whatever Lake City has over there. They're in their layup lines, and there's this little girl, can't be more than 4 or 5 years old, wearing a red headband, all in the Lake City uniforms and stuff, doling out fist bumps. And just watching the big girls as they warm up, that's the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life. That's
the beauty right there of athletics.
Yes.
I love it.
Yep. Looking up to these girls, wants to be like them when she grows up. It's just the best.
Yeah, that is what it's all about, that mentorship. And again, she looks up to those girls like they're in the WNBA, Jay.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes. So
where was I? Oh, yes.
Judy K. Gildy,
picture perfect play of the game. A lot of options. Many of them, I would imagine, came during that 24-point run that the Ramblers put together at the end of midway through the third quarter or so through the start of the fourth, after the Wildcats came out of the gate at halftime playing some great defense, put together a couple buckets, trimmed the lead to 5 with about 5 minutes to go or so in that third quarter. Ramblers looked like they just couldn't figure out what to do against the Wildcat defense, and then all of a sudden it just all clicked and they went on that run. A lot of good options during that time frame. But again, this is why we pay you the big bucks. What you got?
Cooper Agama. And I'm not going to call it a Judy K. Gildy picture perfect play, but plays, plural, Jay. Okay. Because I believe in the third quarter, she scored either 6 or 7 points in the third quarter. And again, really, whenever opened the
start of the fourth.
Excuse me.
It was still in that run.
It was in that run, no doubt, Jay. But again, Everett was still kind of clawing their way back in the game. And Cooper, on many occasions, again, she didn't really as much do the hoop and scoop to the hoop.
Yes.
But she did a tray, among other things, and a baseline jumper. She did a lot of nice things again there to push that run and extend that run. And she did a great job when Claudia was on the bench, pushing the ball on offense in transition and getting a lot of easy transition baskets. And if not an easy transition basket, maybe it was a transition 3 in the secondary break.
There you go. Judy K. Gildy, picture perfect plays of the game. Cooper Agama with a 7-point personal run there to start the fourth quarter to help the Ramblers extend their lead as they pulled away from the Wildcats midway through the third, through the start of the fourth in this 51-19 victory. Let's run down the scoring for you in this game. We had mentioned Claudia O'Malley led all scorers with 11 in the first half. O'Malley on the bench for much of the second half as Coach Bronkema during that run electing to allow her to rest up that left leg. She's got that deep bruise, that contusion on that left thigh. And a gamer. She was clearly limping on that leg with the heavy brace or the heavy wrap on it, but did a fantastic job of kind of running the show for the Ramblers. She's a kind of a calming presence out there, obviously one of their better ball handlers, and was very important. But catching her, the freshman, Emma Skierbeck, finishing with 11 points of her own, knocked down 3 triples in the game tonight, and they paced the Ramblers with 11 apiece. Agama finishes with 9 points. Meanwhile, Kayla Boscher finishes with 5, all in the fourth quarter in that last couple of minutes as she came out to close things out. Brianna Van Houten finishes with 4 points. Ashley Skierbeck with 4 points. Elizabeth Schneider with 3. Kaya Grundy and Olivia Naderhood with a bucket apiece to round out the scoring for McBain, who go 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, well, it was the Rambler defense, because after that start and that early quick couple of buckets to start the third quarter, the Ramblers shut them down, held them to just 4 points through the fourth quarter after that early 4-point run, really over the last, say, 12 to 13 minutes of the game to just 2 buckets. And no single Wildcat scoring more than 4 points. Kelsey Elder and Livia Hopkins each with 4 points apiece. Hannah Wetters, with 3 points, and then a bucket apiece for Kaylee Ladd, Skylar Baumgartner, Kara Henry, and Kylie Burhans to round out the scoring for Everett, who also go 1 of 4 from the line. But let's keep talking about the Wildcats just for a moment. We mentioned that they're young, just 2 seniors, only one of which really saw any significant time tonight. That was Hannah Wetters. But I was very impressed, honestly. The freshman, Skylar Baumgartner, was very impressive. Olivia Hopkins, a junior, handled the ball for them at the top of the key. They got a lot of good looks down low against this Rambler defense early on, just not quite able to finish. And it makes you wonder, I think on paper we both probably expected the Rambler defense to eventually do this, shut them down, go on a big run, and eventually pull away. But, you know, if they make 2 or 3 of those layups early on, and the game's a little tighter, sometimes the favorite plays a little differently, plays a little tighter in that situation. You never know what might happen. This is a Wildcat team. Should be improved next year. That's significant minutes and significant experience those young kids got tonight.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jay. And I'll tell you what, it was almost like the hunter became the hunted tonight in a way. Everett coming out with all sorts of confidence, all sorts of poise, really taking it to the Lady Ramblers and really knocked the Ramblers kind of on their heels a little bit for a standing 8 count, and then we're able to right the ship and then have a good solid end of third quarter, fourth quarter run. But I'll tell you, what I do know too from coaching not coaching, but teaching my 8th graders, I know that the toughest games this year, Jay, for the middle school ranks were the Everett Wildcats. I know our 8th grade girls were undefeated over the course of 2 seasons. I gave them a shout out at the NMC game, give them another shout out tonight. And I know for a fact that it was a 3-point win, and I want to say maybe an 8-point win the second time around. So the future for the Everett Wildcats looks extremely bright with that young team and some talent from the middle school ranks coming in. Both 7th and 8th grade teams at Everett are extremely well balanced and solid. So the future looks extremely bright for Coach Higgins and the Lady Wildcats as time keeps going.
Let's move on to the High Point High Achiever Award, brought to you by High Point Cadillac GMC. High Point High Achiever Award given to the player with the highest rebound total, or who perhaps just did the most work on the glass, depending on whether or not somebody kept track of rebounds. But you were on top of them tonight, so I have a feeling that the winner will be the player who actually did have the most rebounds for the Ramblers. Who you got for that one?
Leah Neverett tonight. Unofficially, according to my stats, I had her for 6 rebounds. Didn't know the exact layout as far as offensive versus defensive rebounds, but again, Leah Neverett tonight seeming to be many times at the right place at the right time, boxing out well, carving out good inside space, being smart. Many times, as we mentioned before on other broadcasts, if the shot goes from the one side, 9 times out of 10, that long rebound is going to go on the opposite side, or what we call a long rebound, or the backside glass. So she many times did a great job of carving out backside rebounding position tonight, and did an excellent job of cleaning the glass. We'll call her the chairman of the boards tonight.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Or chairwoman of the boards. I got to be politically correct here, Jay, don't I?
Yeah, there you go.
Chairperson? Chairwoman. We'll call it a chairperson, chairwoman.
Chairperson of the board?
Yeah, chairperson sounds a little bit better.
Skype is telling me, I'm going to keep talking as if I'm on the air. Skype telling me that Ryan Rose is now available. Oh, okay, that's what he's doing. I gotcha. I don't want to share my screen, thank you. No, Skype, you're so confusing. I assume that we are still on the air. I think it's because he's typing to me in the thread there on the side. 51-19, your final here at Farwell High School. The McBain Ramblers defeating the Everett Wildcats, and they advance to Friday's final. This is the Northern Truck Service postgame show. The Lake City Trojans and the Pine River Bucks out on the floor warming up, getting ready for their nightcap. For you, the listener, we're going to be sending it after this to Buckley High School, where the Northern Michigan Christian Comets will be taking on the Buckley Bears in a district semifinal. Winner will advance to Friday's final in Division 4, likely against Mesick, because the Mesick Bulldogs currently leading Brethren in that first semifinal over there in Division 4. As we've been talking a little bit about here, we expect the Lake City Trojans to be the ones advancing in this game. Pine River winless on the season. Anything can happen. That has literally happened before, a winless team winning their opener in districts. But I would expect Lake City to probably take care of business in advance into Friday's final, setting up a rematch with the Ramblers in a third contest between the two schools. Lake City winning both rather handedly, both at home and on the road. And as I watch the Trojans warm up, my goodness gracious, there are some tremendous athletes, and as my friend Kevin Gregory would call them, ballers on this Lake City team.
No question.
A lot of very skilled young ladies, and you can see why they've had the success they have had this season. Meanwhile, for Dan and I, we have one last bit of business to get to. We're going to be sending you to a little musical interlude. You can enjoy a few songs until Gary and Dave Skinner are ready to take over from Buckley. We have one very important piece of business left to do, and that is, of course, the Hawkeye Player of the Game, presented by Taylor Mechanical. It's the most exciting 15 seconds in all of broadcasting. Everybody waits with bated breath for the post-game show to find out who the winner is going to be. But if I've learned one thing from Gary, it's that you should always leave people hanging for a moment. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break. 51-19 is your final. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to wrap up the Northern Truck Service postgame show before sending it to Buckley, but we're going to let you know who the Hawkeye Player of the Game is. Stick around right after this. I thought it was. Yeah. That's kind of what it sounds like.
I feel bad.
No. It's all good. Damien never answered my question, did he? Did we go to break, guys? Nobody said anything. Did you hear anybody say we were on break?
I didn't hear anything.
Well, I guess we're not going to take a break. All right, Zach, that's fine. Instead, we will go ahead and do our final.
Okay. Is that enough of a cliffhanger?
I guess that is enough of a cliffhanger.
Okay.
I'll have to have a little chat with Zach. So let's go ahead and tell everybody who the Hawkeye Player of the Game is, presented by Taylor Mechanical. Again, the most exciting 50 seconds in sports. Who you got, Dan?
I'm going to have to go with the senior Claudia O'Malley. Again, playing definitely less than 100% tonight. Visibly limping, but giving it her absolute all. Again, she had 11 points tonight. And again, Claudia O'Malley laying it on the court, leaving nothing behind. Excellent Cedar leadership, leading by example, leading the break, doing a good job of running the offense. Hit a couple big shots to open the game up. Hit a couple threes, couple floaters in there. And again, we just got to make sure that she rests, ice, and elevates that thigh as best she can, so that she can be ready to go against either one of these two teams. Who, obviously, Jay, as we mentioned several times earlier, you'd have to give Lake City the nod, most likely on paper. They're extremely talented. They've got two girls that have already signed to play college basketball, and but I got to give it the nod to Claudia O'Malley, who herself, again, collegiately, Riley Bisbal, believe it or not, is going to play basketball at Grand Valley, and Claudia will be running track and field and cross country there. How ironic is that?
That's pretty cool.
Kind of a unique little triangle there. So I really, I just want to thank Claudia for her hard work and dedication. I enjoyed coaching her when I coached her on the JV, and again, she just an outstanding young lady, classy. And tonight, again, hands down, the Taylor Mechanical Hawkeye player of the game, Claudia O'Malley.
Fantastic. Here in Lake City, here in Farwell High School, they're about to go to the national anthem, so that means we've got to go. Stick around, though, because the Northern Michigan Christian Comets will be taking on the Buckley Bears from Buckley High School. Gary, Hawkeye Vanna, and Dave Skinner will have the call from there. For Zach Wiggins, for Dan Verberkmos, for Damian Cook, for me, Jay Simon. Thanks for joining us, folks. We will see you Friday night as Everett takes on the winner of Lake City and Pine River. You've been listening to 107.9 CDY.
Ladies and gentlemen, the privilege of this event was made possible.
107.9 CDY.
What's up? This is Pink. How you doing? This is Adam and James, and we're from Maroon 5.
CDY.
Hi, guys. It's Camila Cabello, and this is my station.
This is the all-new 107.9 CDY.